Hey, I was thinking. And so I wanted to come on here and share my thoughts with you. This is the second day that I've actually put my face on, got dressed. The second day since my surgery. And that's almost 3 weeks ago. I am getting better, still not where I want to be, but that's okay because every day is progress and I'm learning patience again. And so I'm taking it for what it is. But I wanted to come on here because I was thinking about something. A couple of weeks ago, I shared a video. It was a young man who was at his wedding, and as he walked down the aisle, he was singing a love song to his wife. And it was so beautiful. And I thought, like, how lucky is she to have someone who adores her the way he is? And he's showing up and showing out for everyone to see how much he truly loves his bride to be. I watched that video, and then I had this moment that I realized something. Like when you love someone, when you're in love with someone, yes, it's about the other person, but it's more about who you are and who you become because you're able to love. Our true nature is to love. And so when we can be in that fully, that's when things happen. That's where the magic happens. When we're able to truly be who we are, to truly love. And so that feeling that we get is addictive. That's why people want to be in love. It's not just about the other person, but about who we become when we actually love someone freely. Yeah. And today I was watching a video. I'm following one of these thought leaders that I've been following for years, and he has a video about love and being present. And as I listened to it, a memory came to mind. This is a memory I hadn't even thought about for years. This probably was about 6 years ago. I was flying to LA. And normally, when I'm on a flight, I try to get the aisle seat because one, I know that I get up multiple times to go to the restroom, especially on a flight that's going to be 4.5 hours long. But for some reason, I was in the middle, the least favorite seat, right? And so on my left was a young lady, and on my right was a gentleman around my age. And so there I sat in the middle. And somehow me and the guy, we struck up a conversation. I found out all about his family, his kids, his wife, his career, where he lives, like all kinds of stuff. The fact that he had a tennis court at his house. He lived in Knoxville, Tennessee. But it was just a wonderful, wonderful conversation that we talked the entire flight. That 4.5 hours flew by because we were in constant communication and just connecting with one another. And I remember the flight attendant came to us and offered us something to drink. And so she may have said to him, asked him what he wanted. And she's like, well, what about your wife? And he was like, oh, no, this isn't my wife. And she looked at us and was like, y'all not together? I was like, no, we're just, having a conversation here. But because we were so connected to one another, it seemed as such. So I'm sharing this because it goes to that good old word that we find in the Bible that says, love thy neighbor. And when we think about loving thy neighbor, it's not an emotional kind of love, right? That's not the kind of love we're to give to a neighbor. It's that deep spiritual love. And in that moment, in those 4 hours, 4+ hours on the plane, being present with him, I felt a deep connection. I was deeply connected to someone who was a stranger. Yeah. And it's something when you can recognize something in others that doesn't separate me from who I am, right? Recognize something in others that's not separate from who I am. That was a wonderful feeling. And I realized that I was able to have that spiritual connection to love this stranger on a spiritual, deeper level because I was present in that moment. I don't know this man's name. He may have given me a card. I may have given him one. I don't even remember. But I remember that experience of being able to feel that way about someone that I don't know, someone that I wasn't trying to know, someone who would not, it wasn't a romantic type of situation at all. Not at all. I think it was because I was able to sense the essence of the other person, of this gentleman, as myself. And it was a beautiful thing to experience. And so I guess I come on here to say, like, it's wonderful to have that romantic love that I talked about when the guy was walking down the aisle, because you can tell that he loved who he was in that moment, being someone who was going to protect her, to make her feel safe, who was going to pray for her, all of that. At least that's what I have in my mind, right? But it's something to be said when you can give that love to a stranger. Like, just because you may not have that romantic love, and I'm not just talking about a partner, because some people are in relationships that don't have it, but being able to express love so that you can stay in the essence of who you are is something wonderful. Something wonderful. That is where magic happens. So just try it. Try to be present and try to love, exude it. Yeah, you see, I have a lot of time to think. As I recuperate, if you saw my notes that I have that I want to talk about, that I may never talk about some of the things that I've written down, but some things I just feel is too good, or some things are too good for me not to talk about. And I felt like this was one, because when I saw the video today that talked about love and being present, I was like, yeah, that's a message that I can share. All righty. Have a great rest of the day. Happy holidays. And I will say this too, because I did another video last week, or maybe it was this week. I don't even remember. But I talked about how I want to do a quick Zoom meeting where we just get on, list something we're grateful for, try to uplift all of our spirits, right? Because when you're in gratitude, you're able to do that. And so, it's like gratitude turns what you have into enough. I love that quotation, because when you realize and you remember the things that you're grateful for, you realize that you have all that you need. So if you're interested in that, write gratitude, in the chat, or you can send me a message and I will be sure to give you the link. Like I said, it's only going to be at most 30 minutes. It's a quick thing, but just trying to change the vibration. I know there are some people who are having difficulties with this holiday season, missing loved ones, and, just the state of this country, right? So if we could do that together, I just think it'll be a beautiful thing. So if you're interested, again, write gratitude, send me a message, however you want to do it. I'm thinking about next Wednesday evening. Yeah, like around 7 o'clock. So let me know. All righty. I love you. Bye bye.